So good morning from Disney. I have been to this area more times than I care to imagine in the last week. I actually just came to drop Josh off, who is going to meet a friend who is taking him to Disney today. So that's a pretty fun day for him. And I get to go to work. Yay! That's good. I love my job. Actually, driving by Universal, and I was like, I get to go to work at 1:30. Yay! I'm down by Disney Springs on my way home. So just thought I'd give you. This is by the way, if you're coming from the Disney Resort parks, this is the new right there is the new ramp to be able to go up to the parking, which actually makes it a lot easier and kind of cuts down on some of the congestion. But that's not where I'm going. I am heading home. I will just give you a glimpse of kind of the new stuff going on down at Disney Springs, by the way. So I decided to go ahead. Sorry about that shaky video. I was trying to drive and vlog at the same time. Never a good idea. Anyway, I decided to come across here. There's the entrance to Disney here to our right. And if you come out Disney Springs, this area over here is called Crossroads, for those of you who do not know. And in the Crossroads is a Flipper's Pizza, which is always amazing and awesome. There's a Uno's Pizza. There's the Perkins that David and I went to after our 5K. There's a Chevy's Mexican that used to be one of our favorite Mexican places in the world, but then they got new management. It's just not the same. And I'm going to pause. And we're just going to go across here. Ooh, they've done some nice changes here. There's a Fridays, a Taco Bell, and a McDonald's. There's a Buffalo Wild Wings. There's Johnny's Hideaway down by the back. There's also a mini golf. There's Tom and Chi restaurant, Jamba Juice, Firehouse Subs, a Goodies grocery store, which is the only one left in history that anybody knows about, really. I don't know what the guy's doing. And then the McDonald's over here, and that's where I'm going. Gonna go get me some iced coffee. Yay! Made a stop at Trader Joe's. My favorite place. Ugh, love shopping there. Their produce is so good. It's just a nice place to shop because it's so pretty, and the area is so beautiful. And they've got these amazing fountains, which I just love to look at. I mean, no matter what, that's just awesome. Like, come on. How pretty is that? And see, right here, I'm like literally about 2 seconds away from Trader Joe's, is that shopping center that I just showed you guys the other day, where Home Goods is, and 2J's, and Kiki's. It's called the Marketplace. In Dr. Phillips. It's just a fabulous little shopping center to go to. They literally just kind of have everything you could possibly want. They've got sushi. They've got a cat hospital. Goodwill. Oh, there's a Goodwill. Good to know. Goodwill and Publix and Steinmart. I mean, just literally every possible thing that you could need, they've got there. So it's a super cool place to be able to shop. And then we turn onto Dr. Phillips. And I think it was yesterday. It may have been the day before. But you know how like Facebook is now doing like, here's your memories from 27,000 years ago. They did one for me. Oh, it was yesterday actually. And it was April 22nd. And it was a post of me being so thankful, and like there was actually 4 different miracles that had happened then, but the first one, which is still one of my all-time favorites, was I was teaching, and I left school early to be able to drive down to Orlando. I was meeting my dad and my brother down here, and we left at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, got here at 3 o'clock in the morning, no problems at all. We didn't have a hotel because I wasn't sure what time we were going to make it in, and they weren't coming up till the next day, so we didn't have hotel reservations till the next day. Well, I wound up getting, when I got to Orlando, I stopped and called American Express, and they were able to get me a hotel for like $100, and it was right next to Universal. I mean, it was awesome. So that all worked out. But the other thing that had happened was I filled up the tank of gas. I had a rental car, filled up the tank of gas, and no, that's not true. I think I had just gotten this car. I may have just gotten this car. And I filled up the tank with gas. In fact, I know I did. And I filled it up and then went from school back home, from home back to school the next morning, and I was able to make it now from Louisville, Kentucky to south of Atlanta on 1 tank of gas, which was pretty amazing. Like, that was not the normal, even for this car. I mean, this Toyota's a pretty darn good car on gas, but that was like a miracle of miracles. I've never been able to do it again, not with any other car ever, but it was like over 500 miles on 1 tank of gas. It was kind of amazing. So that was kind of cool. That was a neat thing. But at the same time, I was like, oh my gosh, that was April 22nd, and I'm sure by now I can tell you, but I will. So April 22nd, 4 years ago, we had just driven down to Orlando, and would have been today, 4 years ago, we're just playing at Universal, and I was like, I can't even, like, to think about 4 years ago, where we were 4 years ago. I never would have thought that this is where we would be, that I have literally just been offered an opportunity to train for the job of my dreams. This is a turmeric ginger tea. It's actually called Golden Milk. That is amazing, and it has incredible healing and health properties. One of my friends, Karen, actually literally drank it one day, and the next day called me, and she was like, how long is it supposed to take for this to kick into action? Because I'm feeling better already. Like, if you have arthritis pain, it helps lower blood pressure. There's so much. You can check it out on Pinterest. Just look up Golden Milk. It's just turmeric tea is what it is. So anyway, I'm just going to show you how I do this, because I do it a little bit different. I know it looks like little larva, but it's not. So this is the raw turmeric that I got at Trader Joe's for $2.99 for all of that. You can also, if you have like an Indian store or like an Asian store, sometimes they'll have it in there too. But that's what it looks like. Oh God, it really looks like worms in there, but it's not. And then ginger, and I'm just going to cut this up in a little bit smaller pieces and throw it in the food processor. Okay, so there it is, all chopped up and ready to be blended. And when it's chopped up, that's what it looks like. I'm going to try to do this with one hand, but the next step is I take this mixture and dump it on a parchment-lined paper. Be really careful with this turmeric, though, because it's orange. It's like what they used to use, well, I guess probably still use, to make like orange dyes in like India and stuff like that. I mean, it really will dye the inside there, so I actually use a little bit of bleach cleaner later to clean that out. But anyway, so I'm going to show you in a second. I'm going to finish this up, but basically what you're going to do is spread this out all over a parchment-lined paper. Trust me, it makes it easier. And then we are going to stick it in the freezer. So give me 1 second. I'm going to finish. Okay, so there it is, all spread out, and now I'm just going to put it in the freezer. I'm going to go to work, and then when I come back, I will show you how to actually make the tea. And I do this because I'm actually going to freeze it and then put it in little baggies. So I did this vlog, and expecting that the next day I was going to go into work, and they were going to announce that we received this ability to train for this next job. However, they did not. So that's why I've kind of been stalling, hoping that they would announce it. So in the meantime, while I was waiting and not doing that, I actually did another vlog that it's going to be coming out tomorrow, that I'm going to show you, but I have 2 days off, so this is my second day, so this is actually like 3 days later, but I've been waiting to do this to be able to show you. So with that, let me just say, here we go, into the freezer, and out comes, ta-da, the frozen turmeric and ginger. Now, how I make this tea is I take, oh gosh, I guess I should probably measure it for you. But I would say about a half a cup, maybe a cup. Yeah, probably about a cup actually. So let's just say it's about a cup of the ginger and turmeric mix, more or less. Yeah, actually I'm going to say that's about it. So maybe about a half a cup. And put it into the water. Oops, put it into the water. And then I'm going to turn the water on just to simmer. It's going to boil, and then I am literally just going to let it simmer. And I am going to throw in some like whole cinnamon sticks. Whole cinnamon sticks are going in. And then I'm going to do a sprinkle of black pepper as well. I just did 2 grinds of the grinder. So I'm going to let this come to a boil. After it comes to a boil, I'm going to actually just turn it off and leave it overnight. Then I'll strain it out, put it in a container, put it in the refrigerator, and I have it for as long as I need it. But before I do that for tonight, I'm going to show you how to finish it off to be able to. Alright, so as you can see, this makes about 6 servings, which is, I mean, not 6 servings, it's going to make 6 containers of tea. So that you're going to be good to go. And when you make the tea, I'll show you how to make the tea. But anyway, so this is going to last you a really long time. I mean, you really don't need to make it that often. You just stick it in the freezer. I'm going to just put my little Ziploc baggies in the freezer so I'll have it for whenever I need it, because that's the base. The most important part is, like I said, the fresh turmeric and the fresh ginger. So there it goes, back in the freezer, and letting that tea simmer. Alright, so I'm going to try to do this. I have a little tea strainer, and I'm going to pour this in here. And I only do it, I don't fill it completely. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to put the rest back in there. That's, by the way, it's simmering. It's been on for quite a bit. Now, honestly, what I'm going to do here is I am going to turn it off and leave it overnight. I'm going to put a lid on it, or not, because the lid's in the dishwasher. But anyway, I'm just going to let it sit and just stay overnight. It's going to steep overnight. It'll get really concentrated, and then I'll strain it out and put it in a container and put it in the refrigerator for the rest of the time. But here is how you make the tea. So Alright, so here's what you add to it. You add coconut milk, which is actually the best because the fatty acids in coconut milk, aside being really good for you, also bind with the mixture. And then honey as well. And if you can find, wild, like raw honey. So, and if you can get it like where it's from the area that you live, it also helps with allergies. And I have definitely found that to be true. So I'm just going to put some honey in and some milk, just to take. So there is my milk, and here is the honey. There you go. I do the same thing actually in the morning. I just have lemon and honey instead of coffee. And that's it. That's all there is to it. That is the healing, amazing, and very helpful. It helps with, it actually, if you go and look it up, between the coconut, it's just literally a powerhouse. Between the ginger, which is good for circulation and digestion, the turmeric, and cinnamon, which are known for helping to reduce blood pressure, anxiety, stress. The coconut milk is also a fat burner, as is the cinnamon. The honey increases energy. It is literally just like amazing in a cup. So I usually have it before I go to bed, but you can have it in the morning as well. But I usually have water and lemon and honey in the morning when I get up. So there it is. So with that, I am going to say goodnight and see you guys. I'm sorry, the dishwasher's on. See you in the morning. Remember, it is all part of the plan. Good night.